Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone. This is Dan. I'll be your podcast host for the next 10 minutes or so. And what I wanted to talk about today is what is the No Comfort Zone. In case you're new, do me a favor, listen to this podcast, go back to a couple other podcasts, randomly select one of the, I think I've got about 195 out now. Select them and do me a favor, go to iTunes or Spotify, wherever you consume your podcast. Please please leave me a review, please give me 5 stars, and please share it on your Facebook. Do whatever you can do to help share this podcast. I'm trying to get this to be a global thing. It already is. It's I think I'm at 26 or 28 countries now, pretty much all over the United States and Canada and South America, and I'm pretty excited over in Europe, over in India, over in Australia. Things are going pretty well, but I really want to make this thing get off the ground. I know it's helping people. There's a few of you that have bounced back and let me know how much this podcast has helped you, and I do greatly appreciate it. Whether you're a average Joe, whether you're a salesperson, sales manager, a leadership, ex-military, an athlete, a former athlete, person getting ready to go into a divorce, person getting out of divorce, working at Starbucks, or better yet, driving to and from work, wanting to know where your life is going, do me a favor, go to the nocomfortzone.com. There's a blueprint that I have there that'll help you beat adversity and really start getting after your goals. And that's what this podcast is all about. If you're going through some hard times, this is a place to go to hopefully, I hope, give you a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration, and a little bit of a glimpse into all my failures and some of my successes. And I've had a lot of failures and a few successes, so I can talk about it. I'm an expert on failure, by the way. That's what I do. This podcast is to help you. I'm your cheerleader. I believe in you, and I believe once you get your head straight, once you get that mindset right, and once you get a little uncomfortable, and you have intention where you want to go, I believe you're going to start going to that direction in a major way. So like I said before, I believe in you. Today's podcast is really, truly all about this for me. This is where I'm at today with my podcast. I'm looking back at all of the things that I've done since I've started the podcast. And I'm looking at who I've reached. I'm looking at who basically listens to this podcast. And by the way, there is a huge drift going on right now as I drive the back roads from Rockford, Illinois to Crystal Lake. There's major winds on these farm roads, the Kishwaukee Valley Road. And what I'm doing is I'm driving to and driving from, and there's snow drifts. This is the dumbest thing I should be doing in 2020 because I think it's illegal for me to hold my cell phone, and I just realized that I'm holding it. Anyway, what I'm talking to you about this morning is this, that there is, in its own right, everyone's asleep. Everyone's just like going through the motions. There's nobody living life. Everyone's worried about the next thing, in my opinion. Nobody's really out there, grabbing it and going for it and saying, commanding it. This is where I'm at, and this is where I'm going. And that's what the No Comfort Zone Blueprint does. I'm really excited. I'm going to be launching the book here pretty quick. That's another thing, too. I'm trying to get as many people on this podcast and subscribing and trying to get out so I can have a successful book launch. So if you could please help me with that the book is coming. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's been a life's long work, and it's been probably thrown away 3 or 4 times because deep down inside, I have this perfection mentality where it's not good enough. And guess what? Just like this podcast, which I've been made fun of before, it's funny, I used to care about that stuff, but I don't anymore. People make fun of me for doing this in my car to and from, a few critics out there, but boy, a lot of support and a lot of people that they appreciate the motivation and inspiration and the insight. So that I appreciate it because that stuff keeps me going. But so does the naysayers and the haters, because like I said in the last one, if you get offended at something that I say on this podcast, don't listen. But if you get offended at something over here and you're expecting that I'm not going to be a little controversial, and I haven't even really been that controversial in the No Comfort Zone, a reality check, come on, what are you doing? It's really about just opening up your eyes. And this mindset thing that I have going, which I talk about in leadership seminars, which I've got one coming up soon, which I try to instill in the people that I work with, whatever level they're at. I try to treat them a certain way so that the leadership inside of them can come out, because we all need to be including myself, on being a better leader. But what I do is I create this mindset to create awareness and find out where how is it that you landed at this place in time right here in your life? What do you need to do differently? How did you get here? And what do you really want out of life? And there's not a lot of people that are out there that are actually living their life with intention like that. And I think it would be absolutely 100% fantastic. Could you imagine a place of work right now where everyone had a purpose? Everyone was thriving. Everyone was highly engaged and extremely proactive towards the end result, rather than bitching, whining, complaining, settling, and being average. Average will kill you. It almost killed me. You start to look around you and you get comfortable. I'm okay. Yeah, this is fine. I'll settle for this. I'll do that. I don't want to risk this because I might get hurt. It's funny, as I got this knee injury that I'm dealing with. Yeah, I'm an idiot because of what I did. I had a bad knee. I go trampolining, made it worse. Then I go exercise pretty intensely with a HIIT training with my trainer. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, it hurts. Now, I'm limited in what I can do, and it's driving me nuts. I hate this. But it's a reality I have to face. But now I'm already looking, you know what? I just listened to a book by Kyle Carpenter, You Are Worth It. I've talked about it a lot. Please check the book out. It's a wonderful book, and I think everyone needs to hear his story. Congressional Medal of Honor winner, the youngest guy. How he did, what he did, and how he survived it, and how he's thriving now. It's awesome. Talk about adversity. Talk about going after your goals. This guy lives the life, and that's why I think I should meet him. I think we should connect. So if you can help me do that, help me connect with Kyle Carpenter, I would greatly appreciate it. Just to honor the guy, fantastic. I tell you can't say enough about the book. One of my favorite books of all time. And so I'm looking at where I'm at in my life and where I'm going, and I realize that, this adversity that you got to put yourself through is to become not average. And average is everywhere. You could settle easily no matter where you go. So after I heard him in his story about what he went through and getting blown up by a grenade and all of those challenges that he faced, now here's this guy who ran the Marine Corps Marathon shortly after that. And the guy wasn't supposed to live on a number of levels, but he ran the Marine Corps Marathon. And you know what? I want to run that marathon. I want to be able to do that. So I called up my old buddy, Brett. And Brett and I are talking about running the marathon, and that's the problem. We're talking about it. So what does that mean? I got a bad knee. How in the heck am I going to run a marathon? I'm going to start working today to get to that point. I think that I've always wanted to run a marathon. I used to love running. I don't do it anymore. I let myself go a little bit, and this would be a great opportunity to serve the greater good, reconnect with a friend, support the Marines, get really involved in something, maybe even raise some money for it, and in the end, be able to accomplish a lifelong bucket list. Are you kidding? That is... Ladies and gentlemen, that's the No Comfort Zone. So wherever this podcast finds you, if you need help, if you need something going on in your life, if you want a way to work on the solution in your life and you're going to have to do the work, I have a blueprint that I can send to you. You can go to the website, thenocomfortzone.com, and all you have to do is give me your email. It's free. I just want to let you know that it's free. And if you want to do that, let me know. If you're, let's say you're a leader and you've got like a bunch of people that you need to lead, the blueprint will help you with that. I work on it every single day. If I perfected it, the blueprint's perfect. How I do the blueprint's the different story. How uncomfortable do I want to get? That helps with the end result. And you'll see that when you look at the blueprint. I call it a blueprint because it builds things. It builds teams, it builds relationships, it builds self-esteem. There's a lot that this blueprint does. And the one thing it doesn't make your life any easier. So don't think about that, because you can't have a super easy life and live on purpose. It actually creates a little bit of challenges in your life so you can really live life and start to feel great about living life. Okay? Go to thenocomfortzone.com. Dan at thenocomfortzone.com. If you need some help and direction, I can help you through that. We can even get on a phone call if you're interested. Just let me know how we can connect, and I'll call you. Actually, I'll reach out to you and I'll call you and see what we can do to get you on the path to start going after your goals and beating adversity. The only thing I ask in return, because I am new at this, been doing it for a long time, but actually started doing it like this since June. The only thing that I ask is one thing. Do me a favor. Mention this podcast in the email. But also what I'd like you to do is agree that if this works out to your advantage and you really like what's going on, the only thing I'm asking right now is for your review and to share it with every person you know. Not too hard, right? So, and I think you'll want to afterwards. I think you'll carry your voice will carry it as soon as you realize what this can do for you and what it can do to you, and better yet, what it can do for and to the people around you. I hope this podcast finds you well. Get out of average by getting out of your comfort zone and start living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye.